As you guys can see, there's not really much of a takeover happening here. Hola. What do you think's the most concrete narrative if you were to point to an official narrative of what's going on here?
A made-up story.
Think so?
A made-up story. This is my first day on the scene, but it just looks like a lot of nothing. Big nothing burger. Just designed to sway voters or to get a certain person in office.
Yeah, so, people say it's a nothing burger and they come out here in the middle of the daytime when the crime isn't being committed, and then they say it's nothing. These people aren't seeing the crime. They're not looking up the crime statistics. They're not seeing exactly what's happening. There are crimes being committed here. We know people were in this building with firearms that potentially are not here legally. That's 18 U.S.C. 922G. It's against the law. They're coming in here and they broke through that door with guns. So when you say it's a nothing burger and you're coming here in the daytime, it's ridiculous.
Much like every other politically divisive culture war flashpoint that I've ever traveled to, it seemed like everybody there who wasn't a resident was divided into two camps. First, you have people like John, who want to prove for their own reasons that the complex was, at one point, crawling with criminals and degenerates. And on the other side, you have people, also for their own reasons typically, trying to ignore crime problems altogether and diverting their anger and outrage at the other side instead.
Hi, who are you guys with?
We're with Channel 5.
With Channel 5?
Yeah.
Just interviewing people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why do you think there's no gangs here?
Because I've been spending my time with these families, because I've been, doing outreach here, getting to know them every day, getting to know their children.
What were the guys with the guns in the hallways about?
I don't know what that was about. That was an old video.
It's not an old video.
It was an old video.
No, it's not.
And an Aurora police chief interim has said that it has not been taken over by gangs.
So because an Aurora police chief comes by in the daytime with 27 cops and she says that there's not gangs here, then there's no gangs here?
I think that police would be the ones to know what is a gang and what's not a gang.
Not when it's political. There are gangs.
Oh, exactly. It's
political.
Gangs. That's the problem. This is a political strategy.
Yeah, it is a political strategy by who's currently in office here, by the police department, the leadership, to say that there's nothing happening.
I'm sorry, it's the opposite. They're saying that there are gangs and that's the political strategy.
No, it is not. You can pull the arrest records for this area and the crime records for this area and see how much crime has been committed here. How can you say that there's nothing going on when there is evidence of the crimes that are being committed here?
You can't do collective punishment because of a racist rumor that this is all taken over by gangs. That's not true.
We are not trying to say that these guys have come in and taken over every building, but to say that they're not harassing the people in these buildings, that they're not extorting some of the people in these buildings, and that there aren't sex crimes going in. I was here on Tuesday morning. There were sex workers in the building, okay? I worked 30 years in law enforcement. Before you call me a bullshit artist, I know a sex worker, okay?
If you're talking about sex workers and you're concerned about sex workers have rights as well. Those people should be able to have their rights.
Yes,
and also,
all people have rights. All people have rights.
You're talking about a population who doesn't have a right to work,
so you admit,
and you're surprised that you might see a sex worker in this setting?
So now it's okay for crime to be committed here. So I understand where you're coming from.
They have said that these people are transitory and do not belong to the building.
Yes, I agree with that.
So then,
gangs don't live in the building.
Correct,
they come here at nighttime and extort the people.
They go to a lot of different places.
So we are admitting that there are gangs. We're admitting there's gangs.
I don't know what they do. I haven't seen them personally. I have not seen people personally. I have worked with people. I've worked with these families.
Yeah, but the strategy should be getting the criminals out of here, getting the people who are running around with AR-15s and pistols in their hands, and breaking down the doors in that building. That's what happened.
You can't break down the doors in a building of families and children. These kids are already traumatized because cops have shown up.
The cops didn't break down the door. The gangs broke down the door. We have it on video. We have on video gangs stopping cars in this neighborhood and shooting cars in this neighborhood. There were 2 shootings right outside this neighborhood last night.
In this neighborhood, you don't. Hi, how are you? From the park. Good to see you.
Before we go on, just so you know who I am, John Fabricatore, running for Congress in this area. Spent 30 years with Immigration Customs Enforcement, been in law enforcement for a long time, and now she's shaking her head because I said
ICE?
I was in ICE.
Oh my God, that's horrible. The worst people work for ICE. They really do. I've gone into the ICE office. I've seen how people are treated. I've seen how people are treated. It's horrible.
God bless you.
Yes,
thank you for your service.
Thank you. So John Fabricatore.
Service for ICE?
Spent 23 years
Goodness,
with
please.
I'm sorry. Start again.
What's going on?
After mentally dissociating for several minutes, I felt like I was truly getting lost in the sauce, as they say.